I hope you don't get the sickness.
My boy Kurt is a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
I hear this one is a little scary, so I sent my daughter to bed and I'm watching The Hunchback of Notre Dame with my teenage son instead. I can't tell knowing if this is based on a real location that recently burnt down is going to affect the viewing or not, and I know you're on the edge of your seat waiting to find out. Also, did you hear when the cathedral burnt a year ago, like burnt down in real life, they asked Quasimodo if he had any idea how the fire started, and he said no, but I've got a hunch. It starts with this weird clown putting on a puppet show for a bunch of kids. From there, we go into a flashback, which is his puppet show and also the main movie. Remember this, it's important later. We open with a family of gypsies being attacked. The men are taken to the Palace of Justice where Batman and Superman hang out. Isn't that where the Justice League live? Then the bad guy bounces a young lady off the church steps, killing her, and then he takes her child, which is apparently super ugly, the kid, not the dead girl. So he tries to chuck the ugly child down a well, but some other guy stops him, and the mutant kid ends up growing up in the church thinking that guy is his dad. Bam! Quasimodo backstory. Let's begin. I'm out on a limb here, but I'm gonna assume the guy that killed the young mother and tried to drown her kid is the antagonist. Oh, and Disney dead mom, check that box already, 2 minutes in. Quasi is all grown up now, and sorry, his mom was like Disney hot, so who's the father? Like, you know, never mind. His gargoyle pals can turn from stone gargoyles to live gargoyles. He's stuck in a tower like Rapunzel and wants to get out like Rapunzel. Jason Alexander from Seinfeld is one of the gargoyles, and he's getting yet another juicy Disney paycheck. Now, I know I'm on again, off again with the way Disney doles out the voice actor paychecks to top A-list actors. Like, hear me out again. Imagine the army of voice actors who have spent their lives perfecting their craft. These unknown people who could do hundreds of different and distinct character voices at the drop of a hat. And when Disney pulls up to the table with these top of the industry major motion picture voice acting gigs, they always go with the popular actors. I know they want name recognition, I get it, and sometimes it's an absolute home run. Only Ellen could be Dory, only David Spade could be Cusco, but here we have Jason Alexander, George Costanza from Seinfeld playing a gargoyle, a complete secondary character who just sounds exactly like George Costanza from Seinfeld. Keep that in mind. And keep in mind, this is the 90s and Seinfeld is one of, if not the top rated show on primetime TV, so just imagine how much money Disney would have to be paying Jason Alexander for this role, which is unimportant. I could have voiced Gargoyle #1, and it wouldn't have affected this movie in any way. These are the baffling ones. Like, if he's gonna be Quasimodo or a lead character, I can understand, but to pay Seinfeld money to voice a gargoyle is literally burning money in a barrel. I'm all fired up now. Let's do this. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Quasi wants to sneak out and go to the Festival of Fools. I'm sure this is gonna go off without a hitch. Sounds to me more like the Festival of Foreshadowing, am I right? Quasi's murderous father, Claude, comes in and they sing a duet together. He reminds Quasi how his mother abandoned him when he was a baby, but she, no! Animation on this is amazing. The background detail is incredible. I have a feeling the pieces are coming together for this one. People speak really high of Hunchback. I'm excited. I want to see this. Let's keep going. Quasi breaks into song by himself and we have a musical number. You know, I want to live here. A place where no one bats an eye at a mutant surfing down an open drain pipe and belting out show tunes at the top of his lungs. Next, we meet the handsome hero Phoebus, who stops some bumblers from attacking a pretty gypsy lass. And you know, I would love to be a pro bumbler in the Disney universe. Just set up these ludicrous situations that allow these manly men to step in and impress the gals. Like, they should do a retelling documentary of all these Disney movies where the heroes are actually behind these situations. Like, they paid these guys to harass her so he could show up and valiantly rescue her and save the day. And also, how brave can a guy named Phoebus be? Sorry, guys. The hero meets the evil church guy and they kill some ants, which is actually more disturbing than it sounds when I say it aloud. To see it, it's weird. I mean, he's already killed a mom, so might as well kill some aunts. Huh? Aunts can only go up from here, folks. Here we go. Phoebus is actually Church Claude's new commander. Claude is the archdeacon. Damn, outside, Quasi won't let his dad tell him what to do because it's the 90s. He jumps into the crowd at the Festival of Fools where they try to find the ugliest person in the crowd and award them King Fool. Why is this a popular event? I wouldn't want to go to a party where they're going to award someone the ugliest person. What if it's me? I don't want to win that. Esmerelda's here. She's not winning that award. She outsmarts all the guards, grabs a spear, and pole dances around it. She pole dances on a spear. Hunchback of Notre Dame. The crowd grabs Quasi and awards him King Fool, which is awesome, and then it isn't when they realize it's not a mask and he really is that ugly. So they do what any old school mob would do in this situation. They pepper him with tomatoes and eggs. Quasi is being humiliated. He looks to his dad, Claude, who could stop his torment, but doesn't. Not a fan of this scene. This is uncomfortable. Esmerelda jumps in to help the poor creature, and Claude seethes and orders the guards to attack her. He is not a fan of gypsies. She pirouettes and flips and ends up in the church where Phoebus attacks her. She tries to hit him in the crotch like multiple times, and he says, "You almost fight as well as a man." And she says, "I was going to say the same thing." Oh no, that was amazing. Esmerelda, jumping up my list of favorite Disney gals. After Phoebus runs some cold French product on his burn. I'm trying to make a joke here. Cold creme brulee? I don't know. Okay. Because of the sanctuary clause, she can't be arrested inside. Claude puts her in a hammerlock and sniffs her hair. Okay. All right, Disney. So she has to stay in the church because as soon as she leaves, she can't claim sanctuary and will be immediately arrested. This is a solid plot. Things are layered. Things are building in this movie. Stuck inside the church, she of course meets Quasi, and she sees his model replica of the town and townspeople, these little people. He suddenly panics and distracts her away from his toys. It's almost like he didn't want her to see what toy Esmeralda was up to. She reads his palm. He's smitten hard. He wants to impress her, so he helps her escape. What we are treated to next is the two of them running, jumping, and climbing down the side of the cathedral in one of the absolute greatest animated moments I've seen yet. 40-some movies in. This is next level, for real. 1996. This animation here is just off the freaking charts. Phoebus asks Quasi if he's seen Esmeralda, and you can cut the thirst coming from both of them with a church knife. Okay, I'm Googling this. An athame? As a typical ceremonial knife used in religious ceremonies. I've been Googling this for too long now. Time is being wasted. It escalates and Quasi loses his mind and attacks Phoebus, who reveals he's actually a good guy and is all, "Tell her she's lucky." Hunch is like, "What? Why?" "Because she has a friend like you." And just like that, he friend zones Quasi. Quasi carves an Esmeralda out of wood now. Okay, and then works off some frustration by ringing that bell, just tugging that rope. Claude Guy sings into a fireplace about how he's also lusty for Esmeralda. Come on, Disney, what are we doing here? This is some heavy stuff. This is like a dark version of There's Something About Mary. Like, everyone's after this gal now. Esmeralda keeps incognito by wearing a cloak with a goat on her head. Yeah, that happens. Claude realizes she's escaped, and he hits the town, questioning all the gypsies trying to find her. He is not handling this well. He locks one family in their home and then lights it on fire. Phoebus saves the family, and Claude fires Phoebus, knocks him out, tosses him into the lake where Esmeralda saves his life. Claude finally connects the dots and realizes Quasi must have helped her escape. The Gargoyles continue to be the worst supporting characters in this Disney movie and possibly any Disney movie. Here's some dialogue. I guess they have names. This was cut and paste from a movie quote database site. Okay, you ready for this? Okay, one's named Laverne to Quasimodo. "We always said you were the cute one." Hugo: "I thought I was the cute one." Laverne: "No, you're the fat, stupid one with the big mouth." Hugo: "What are you saying exactly?" Hashtag imagine no bullying. All this to show how they're spending Jason Alexander money. Esmeralda returns to the church. She asks Quasi a favor. She asks him to help hide the injured Phoebus. She pours alcohol on his wounds and starts sitting him up. "You're lucky. That arrow almost pierced your heart." "I'm not sure it didn't." Come on, man. Quasi realizes the score, sings a song about how truly ugly he is and no one's going to love him. More Gargoyles. I don't get it. It's like they make an adult movie and then realize how 14A this was, so they smashed in some dumb characters. "Hey, come on, kids. Everyone loves Gargoyles. Look, one's playing the damn piano." "Bumbling Gargoyles are funny." "Dad, is that man of cloth daydreaming about a busty woman made of fire dancing for his amusement?" These Gargoyles. This one guy sounds like Seinfeld. What's the deal about Gargoyles?" That's how it went. He interrogates Quasi and he just can't keep it together. Claude smashes his toys and yells at him for helping Esmeralda escape. He takes Esmeralda doll, lights it on fire, and he's all distraught. Come on. If I pouted every time my parents stormed into my room, crushed my toys, and lit them on fire, Okay, Phoebus wakes up and he's dressed like a Jedi. Quasi agrees to help Phoebus stop Claude from massacring all the gypsies. So they go on this quest to find the secret catacombs where all the gypsies hide during the day. The narrator, who is also the leader of the Festival of Fools, is also the leader of the gypsies, the guy doing the puppet play. He's in his own flashback. They ambush and capture the two of them. The clown says they have a good noose. It's a double header because they're going to hang them. Esmeralda stops the hanging, but it was a trap. It was a trap. I didn't type that twice for effect. That was an error. The two of them unknowingly led Claude and his army to the gypsies' lair. Oh no! What's that coming? It's the third act. Esmeralda is found guilty of witchcraft and is going to get burned on a stake. Oh my god. Sanctuary! Nope. Church guy tells her to choose him or death. She chooses death. Ouch! There's rejection, and then there's rather dying the most horrible and painful death possible. I'm talking smelling your hair burning while your skin peels off and you die in unimaginable pain. Rejection! Quasi is chained up, but rages, digs deep, and somehow finds the inner strength to break the chains to save Phoebus' girlfriend. Now it's on. Phoebus gets the crowd to turn on Church Guy and his army. Is it too late? Too late. Esmeralda is dead, and Quasi is sad, and Claude tries to stab Quasi, and they fight, and Ezzy wakes up, and Quasi tries to escape with her. Church Claude keeps trying to stab them, and now reveals he actually murdered Quasi's mother by bouncing her like a basketball off the cathedral steps. They flippy-floppy off the balcony, and Quasi saves Claude, who returns the favor by continuing to try to kill them, but a gargoyle, which is a real gargoyle, which is to say it's not alive, breaks, and with it, Claude falls to his death. Phoebus and Esmeralda emerge as victorious power couple and present Quasi into the light of the townspeople who accept him despite his deformations. Narrator clown yells 3 cheers for Quasimodo, and the muscular handsome guy still got the girl in the end, but Quasi got 3 cheers, and that's that. We never come back out of the flashback. We never come out of the flashback. I missed the creepy clown guy's name, so I looked it up. Clopin Trouillefou, that guy. He started this whole thing with a puppet show flashback, and we never came out of it. Is he stuck telling the story forever? I feel so unsatisfied. Did the audience of kids have questions? Did the clown give the standard annoying street performer speech like, you know, you go to these festivals and after you watch a guy talk about riding a giant unicycle for half an hour only to finally ride it for 30 seconds while juggling at the very end of the show, comes out and has the speech about donations and how much his free show costs, now most people ask what a decent donation is, and I say when you go to a 42-minute movie you spend about $180, so 70 to 80 is the average amount people give for a street performance. Or was this puppet show a free show sponsored by some charity that didn't know they were hiring a storytelling clown who would spin a tale about a vixen gypsy that drove not 1, not 2, but 3 men crazy, including a priest who sang a dirty song about her into a fireplace? So many questions. Did the clown get fired? He seemed to have no moral issue and doesn't even flinch at the idea of hanging 2 innocent sewer-exploring people mid-song, which makes me assume he's hung a lot of people by now, so he's basically a serial killer who does puppet shows on the side. Who would hire this guy? Don't they do background checks? And that's my review of Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, when people ask how much they should donate to my channel for this free content, I like to remind them that you usually pay about $126.72 each month for Netflix, and so don't send me money, seriously. Street performers, the worst.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and